Hey guys, just to introduce myself very quick, my name is Leo. I am currently a Gear Up tutor, and I'm here to show you guys a very quick demonstration and tutorial on geometry, 8th grade geometry. I know you guys went over Pythagorean theorem and the distance between points. I'm just going to give you guys a little quick recap and review of what to expect and how you're going to use these kinds of problems in freshman. So let's start with what is Pythagorean theorem. Pythagorean theorem is a fundamental relation in geometry among the three sides of a right triangle. It says that the area of the square whose side is the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the areas of the squares on the other two sides. So basically what they're telling us here is that side C is going to be a hypotenuse and it's going to be equal to the sum of side A and side B. For those who don't know, side A is your opposite and side B is your adjacent. You're going to be learning that later on, such as in pre-calc, in college, or in senior year. But our main focus here is that they're going to ask us what is the distance between this angle and this angle, which is what is the distance of side C. It's really important to know these stuff, guys, because you're going to be learning, you're going to be using these kinds of stuff in algebra and, as I mentioned before, in pre-calc later on in the future. So pay attention and stick to the problem. So we have our first example. What is the distance between 2, 2 and 4, 7? A lot of people like to use this formula, which is d equals the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. It's fine. I use a different one. I'm going to show you guys in a minute. I use this one, the d squared. That's a horrible d. D squared equals the change of y squared plus the change of the change of x squared plus the change of y squared. I use this formula just because it looks a little bit more fancier. But you guys can use either one of them. It's going to give you the same answers and it's the same steps. So let's get right into the problem. So we have our graph. Inside the graph we've drawn our little triangle. We plotted our points already, which is 2 and 2 and 4, 7. Before you guys find the distance of C, first you need to find the distance of A and B. And to get that, you need to find your change of x and change of y. To find your change of x, you need to subtract your finishing x minus your starting x. So here we have our x1, y1, x2, and y2. So let's start with our change of x. So it's 4 minus 2. And that's going to give us 2. Now, it's going to be the same thing as change of y. Oops. You're going to subtract 7 minus 2. And it's going to give us 5. Now you do your Pythagorean theorem. Let me get a different color. So now you do your Pythagorean theorem. So it's going to be d squared 2 squared plus 5 squared. So 2 times 2 equals 4. 5 times 5 equals 25. So 4 plus 25 is going to give us 29. And d squared, so the distance of C is going to equal the square root of 29. Alright guys, so this concludes my topic. Pythagorean theorem and the distance between 2 points is used regularly in the real world, especially for those who want to do architecture, woodworking, or other physical construction projects. For Pythagorean theorem, if you're building a sloped roof, you need to know the height of the roof and the length in order to cover it. As for the distance formula, you're going to use this a lot in algebra for those who are going to go to high school. Sometimes you need to find the point that is exactly between the two other points, which is called the midpoint formula. That is very important, especially for Pythagorean theorem. You guys will be using Pythagorean theorem in high school a lot as well. So remember this, what I taught you guys early on. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys learned. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.